Everyone, Will Brink here, brinkzone.com. Today's topic is going to be a little different, really directed at my fellow writers out there that are interested in potentially optimizing their sales, their experience on Amazon through a product called, of course, Publisher Rocket. KDP Publisher Rocket, which is put out by Dave Chesson and his crew. Going to do this one basically because I just haven't seen what I thought was a really honest assessment. Before I bought Publisher Rocket, which I've had for a few years now, so I'm not someone who bought it a couple of weeks ago or a month ago and is ready to do a review of it. So before I bought it, I probably watched half a dozen reviews, and after that I watched a number of videos from Dave himself and read some stuff about it. And I think for the most part, what I watched and got into was pretty accurate, but I'm going to give you what I think is the most honest review of this. The reviews that I watched before, for the most part, pretty much raved about it, and then linked you to an affiliate link underneath where they made a few bucks and stuff. So for the most part, I found most of the reviews. I think they were biased. I mean, for the most part. And again, I think a lot of what they said as far as the value of it was true, but I think they left out one very important part, which we'll get to in a minute. If you follow this channel, you obviously know who I am because of what I did in the past. But I'm going to give a quick for those that are new, because I'm going to post this hopefully on some of the writer forums and writer pages, because I recently put up a post asking people if they used Publisher Rocket, and didn't really get either. The comments led me to believe that a lot of people didn't really pay attention to maybe review videos they bought. So didn't get a lot of responses, which tells me a lot of people either maybe not be aware of what Publisher Rocket is. Some of the comments were, yes, I bought it, but I looked at it and I didn't understand it. I didn't use it. So that made me feel like I could add something, because I don't like to do videos that reinvent the wheel. That is, if somebody else has done a video that covers a topic well, then I'll just link to them and say, go watch this video. I don't like to again, reinvent the wheel. But I honestly I haven't really seen anything that I thought covered this product or this topic very well. So as far as me, I've been in the writing biz for 30 plus years. I've been published extensively worldwide in nonfiction. I used to write extensively for some of the magazines that had millions of readers. They were mostly in the health and fitness and bodybuilding arena, like Muscle and Fitness, Muscular Development, Muscle Media, Muscle Mag International, and so forth. But these were big magazines. They were published in multiple languages and in multiple countries. So I was out there. I've published some books. I've also been published in some non-bodybuilding type magazines, law enforcement, Inside Karate. I was actually published in Penthouse a few times back in the day. I don't know if they still have it, but Penthouse had a men's health section, so I was published in that. So I'm certainly not a household name. I'm not Stephen King by any means, but I have been published and been around the block in publishing and a paid writer for decades. Now, when it came to my interest in going to fiction, I decided that I really wanted to self-publish because I really wanted full control. My experience in the past in the nonfiction, health sciences, fitness, anti-aging, that kind of thing. My website also has a lot of that information. I really wanted full control over the publishing, and my experience with editors and publishers and so forth led me to believe again that I could do if I was going to get into the like say into the fiction arena, I really wanted full control. I did not want to be debating with publishers and agents and what have you as to what I could say and what I couldn't and all that. So I started with my one interest, which was thrillers. I've done pretty well with that. I'll show you my Amazon publisher page. Science fiction, of course, being a real interest of mine. I have science fiction. Recently, I just put out a historical fiction. We'll see how that does. But I've always wanted to write historical fiction. But I purchased Publisher Rocket because I wanted to sort of take my publishing to another level on Amazon, specifically on Kindle. And I had just put out a story called The Last War Mage, which is a fantasy science fiction sort of hybrid. Let's see, I will bring in, let me show you my, let's see if I can get that page. Sorry, it's going to take me just a second because I can't jump around between that many pages. Writers Forum. Anyway, let's see. Let's go to Publisher Rocket. So, for those that don't know what Publisher Rocket is, it is a software that helps the author behind the scenes really optimize your marketing on Amazon. I'm sure if anybody has looked in the back end of Amazon and Kindle, there's a lot going on back there, and every little bit back there counts. So this is what Publisher Rocket looks like, and it will help you with every part of your journey, finding the proper keywords, analyzing the competition. Now, the biggest part, the most important part, I think, is for the most part, as far as really making headway into major sales, is definitely in the AMS keyword search and your advertising. And again, if you've ever gone into the back end of advertising on Amazon, you know it's complicated. And this is both, well, I'm going to say sort of the pro and the con of it. So let's cut to the chase here. The product costs a little under $100. It's a one-time fee. Does Publisher Rocket really help with all of these? Yeah, definitely. I would say it's not an Achilles heel. I would say if there was an issue with it, that in today's very short attention spans, again, a lot of the comments I saw online when I just asked people if they were using it was, yeah, I opened it up and I looked at it and I didn't understand it. Well, that is not going to work with this product. You are not going to self-teach yourself Publisher Rocket. What you have to do is, now you'll see, on the right, you'll see the tutorials. What you need to do is, when you buy this product, is sit down, give yourself time, assume a day, if not a few days, maybe a week, depending on how fast you learn, depending on how much time you want to put towards it. But the first thing you do when you buy this product is go to the tutorials and watch them. And sit there and absorb. It's a big info dump. This is not a simple product. If you think you're going to buy this product, open it up, slap in a couple of keywords and off you go and make money, it's not going to happen. So what you need to do if you were to buy this product, and I'm going to get to the part as to whether it's worth buying or not at the end here. But as far as making this product work for you, don't sit there and try to because you're in the modern times where your attention span is so short that you're not willing to sit down and learn. This is a course. The tutorials are, I would say, a full course, and you need to sit there and follow along with Dave, and he does a great job of laying it out. He takes you through every single part of how to use it, how to make it work for you, and all that. So, but if you don't have the time, or you don't have the patience, or you don't have the interest, this is not the product. This product takes, and I've probably gone through the course at least 3 times now. When I first bought it a few years ago, I think I had to go through it twice. And like I said, I was really mostly focused on trying to really focus on that new book, which was The Last War Mage at the time. Now, I went through all my books. Well, I went through all my fiction books. I haven't optimized my nonfiction books using Publisher Rocket. I really focused at the time because I had decided that fiction writing was really a hobby for me, and I was lucky in that people already knew me. I already had a bit of a following. I have a modestly successful website, so I had a pretty good sized mailing list. So I had an advantage that a lot of people don't have, in that I already had at least something of an audience in another topic, of course, health and fitness and bodybuilding and all that. But unlike other people, I already had an extensive, six-figure mailing list and all that. So I already had a bit of a audience following, to direct toward my fiction, which the first thing I wrote was a thriller novella, which ended up being a series. So, but I did decide a few years ago that, unfortunately I decided, of course, right when COVID started, but anyway, I did decide that I was going to try to take my fiction writing from less of a hobby and make it, a focus of my profession, and try to really grow the fiction side of it. And it was partially successful. I've been happy with it, which we'll get to as far as how much responsibility did Publisher Rocket have for that growth. But anyway, so you're seeing what Publisher Rocket looks like, and it will take you through. You have to basically you've got to sit through the tutorials, take the time, follow what Dave has to say, and go through all of it. And he does a solid job of it if you pay attention and you take the time. If you're not willing to do that, you are not going to do well. You're not going to, like say, the comments I saw online from a number of people where I bought it and I didn't understand it, and and I said, well, my response was, did you sit down and follow the tutorials? Well, no, I didn't do that. I don't have time. Then don't waste $100. This is not and I don't think Dave would disagree with that at all. I think he would say, yeah, absolutely. So, let's go to Amazon. Here we are here. Hold on, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial of my writers page. Hopefully I can find it, get away from... there we go. No, that's not it. Latest updates, Amazon. Yes, here we go. Okay. So this is my authors page on Amazon. This is brand new. Just put this up, so this doesn't have anything for reviews yet. This was the last War Mage that I had put up, and I bought KDP Rocket sort of with this one in mind, as far as like really promoting it and getting out. I was really happy with it. It's done really well. As you can see, I've done well. Now I don't have thousands of stars. I mean, obviously you sell a lot more than reviews. Anybody who's online these days knows how hard it is to get reviews. So this is certainly not an indicator of sales. I've sold obviously a whole lot more than that, but I've got books. Got one down here. My very first thriller, Vacation Gone South, has 101, almost 5 stars, as you can see. So, but anyway, as far as KDP Rocket, I really did buy it mostly because I really wanted to take this, say, okay, the project that I really said I'm gonna use to take this new product and really make something out of it. So, that was the book that I sort of decided. But I've put all these fiction books at least through KDP. So let's go back to this. Okay, so bottom line of this product is KDP Rocket. I think it is a great product. I think Dave did a super job with it. The issue for me, here's the problem that I had with it, and other people mentioned this also who said they had a similar problem, was did it lead to increased sales and readers of the books? Yes, it did. Did it lead to a net profit? No, it did not. My point being is that though it did increase sales, the cost of the advertising exceeded the amount of money I was making from book sales, and that has continued to this day. What Dave says about that, and he does have a whole area, a whole course, separate course that I went through, which is, it's not just a set it and forget it product. You've really got to get involved with the back end as far as tweaking your advertising approaches, and he has a whole course for that. But to be honest with you, even though I have gone through it multiple times and tried to optimize, modify the advertising, it has not led to a net income improvement. To this day, for myself, I am still spending more on advertising than I'm making as far as income in sales. Now, I will say that he does a pretty good job of explaining the possibilities of why that is. But I have to say, this is the area where I think the difficult part comes from. You really have to be hands-on in the back end with the advertising and work and being very, very diligent with looking at the numbers. And if you're not a numbers person, somebody who, and I have a science background, I read studies all the time, I have to read statistics and stuff, I still find really making heads or tails of the back end numbers as to how to modify them, as to how to change bids, as to which advertisement to shut off, which to modify, difficult. This is the challenging part of this program and this system is to and again, I think Dave does a fairly commendable job of that, but I think if anyone's going to have a problem, that seems to be it. The costs of advertising still exceed the sales that I'm making, and as far as calculating the numbers, the data, as far as to where and how to modify it to improve all that, that's the difficult part. So, I'm going to say pros and cons of this product. Now, if you're somebody who uses it and you have hit the sort of the magic modifications of the back end on the advertising, there you are, making good income. Well, fabulous. Then again, but I think this is where even more attention by Dave could exist. I don't know. Maybe he sells separate courses that really go through this. I'm not really sure. I think, but this is the real, like I say, the real issue with this product. And again, I think he would admit that's the case. But as far as, like I say, as far as really helping people, if you follow the course, you follow his instructions, as far as really helping you with a lot of things, just like I say, that are confusing, I think it's a great course or a great product. I will say that and you may use all of it as far as helping you with search terms and all that. And you may not do an advertising, AMS a product or in the background, and you may want to shy away from that. I think if I was going to do it over again, I think what I would do, and I was, like a lot of people, you pay money, you're excited, you want to, get all your books out there. I think if I was to give any advice, I would say focus on one book. Pick the one book, the one advertising project that you want to optimize, and follow Dave's advice and follow his especially the AMS campaigns advice is how to tweak it and stuff. And I would say just take one book and just really work that one until that book is selling in the net positive income wise, not just selling. Like I say, I've done okay with the sales part, but I will say that it has not led to a net gain as far as income. I'm still spending, I still spend more money on the advertising than I do on the amount of sales that I bring in as far as income-wise. But I have more people reading my books, and sometimes you have to, of course, you have to take the attitude. Sometimes you got to spend money to get readers. But at some point, if you're not making a net positive income from it, well, then you got to, again, start asking yourself questions and to say, well, is this worth continuing doing? Can I shut this advertising off and maybe go do something else for a while, focus on something else? I mean, there's choices you can make. So that's the most honest review I can give of KDP Rocket. But if you're someone who's really focused on Amazon specifically, because it's completely KDP focused, and optimizing KDP, I think it's a worthwhile investment of basically around $100. But do not think you're just going to get into it and it's going to be doesn't take a lot of your time and it's not going to take a lot of effort, because it definitely does. And I am guilty of probably not putting as much time and effort into watching the numbers on the back end and stuff and modifying them as I could be. But that's my honest view of it, and just being honest is the way I think people look at it. and maybe again, in today's world, we don't have our attention spans and our ability, our willingness and ability to really sit down and absorb things and follow along is not what they used to be. And I would say I'm in that group too, unfortunately. So I hope this helps. And if you're a fellow writer, leave some comments. If you use KDP, you've had success with it, by all means, let me know below. That would be great. If you like this video, hit the likes and subscribe, and maybe I'll do some more writing related videos in the future.